American Political Discourse. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. Ingraham's reveal came with a calm confidence that mirrored her on-air persona. She spoke with the same poise that had guided her career, offering no sensationalism, no dramatics, just a straightforward acknowledgement that her time at Fox had run its course. The moment she confirmed it, viewers could almost sense a collective pause. After years of delivering her nightly program with sharp wit and unapologetic opinion, she was stepping away from a platform that had both elevated and defined her. It wasn't merely another anchor changing jobs. It was a symbolic shift within a network that had built its identity on the voices of a select few. Ingraham, among the most prominent, sparked immediate speculation about timing and intent. For someone who had weathered controversies, advertiser boycotts, and political storms, Ingraham's decision suggested something deeper than fatigue or dissatisfaction. Many wondered if this was her way of reclaiming independence, stepping outside the confines of cable news to explore new opportunities. The modern media world had evolved dramatically since she first joined Fox, with digital platforms now giving personalities unprecedented control over their content and audiences. For someone as seasoned as Ingraham, leaving might not have been a retreat. It could very well have been a strategic repositioning. To understand the weight of her decision, one must consider her role in shaping Fox News' identity. Laura Ingraham was not just a commentator. She was part of the network's ideological backbone. Her show, The Ingraham Angle, consistently ranked among the top in cable news ratings, drawing millions who admired her blend of intellect and conviction. She had mastered the art of turning complex political issues into digestible, emotionally resonant commentary that resonated with middle America, whether challenging liberal narratives, questioning establishment Republicans, or defending traditional values. She spoke to an audience that felt increasingly unheard by mainstream media. Her departure leaves Fox News without one of its most consistent and articulate defenders of cultural conservatism. Ingraham represented a particular brand of conservatism rooted in faith, family, and a firm belief in the moral underpinnings of American society. She was not merely a pundit delivering nightly commentary. She was a cultural warrior engaged in a broader struggle over the nation's direction. Losing such a voice at a time when political polarization remains at fever pitch inevitably alters the balance of voices at the network. Inside Fox News, her exit may have triggered both reflection and recalibration. For executives, the question immediately became how to fill a void that cannot easily be replaced. Ingraham's show wasn't just a rating success. It was a symbol of stability amid the shifting sands of cable news. Her presence reassured loyal viewers who saw her as an anchor principle. Any successor stepping into that time slot faces an immense challenge, not only in retaining the audience, but also in living up to the credibility and personality she brought to the table. What made Laura Ingraham unique was her ability to blend the personal with the political. She often spoke from lived experience, referencing her Catholic faith, her role as a mother, and her journey from radio to television. These elements humanized her commentary, turning what could have been just another political show into a personal connection with viewers. That connection is not easily replicated. In a media era increasingly dominated by algorithms and analytics, her authenticity was her greatest strength. Her leaving also underscores a broader transformation within conservative media itself. The ecosystem that once revolved around cable news has fragmented. Audiences now seek commentary through podcasts, YouTube channels, Substack newsletters, and social media platforms where voices can speak without corporate filters. For Ingraham, whose career began long before such technologies existed, stepping away from Fox could signify a recognition of where the conversation is truly moving. The megaphone of influence has shifted, and perhaps she intends to use her next chapter to embrace that change rather than resist it. The announcement inevitably reignited public debate about Fox News' future direction. The network has weathered numerous changes over the years, high-profile departures, internal shakeups, and shifting editorial tones. Each transition reshapes how it is perceived by the public and by its loyal audience. Ingraham's departure, however, carries a particularly emotional resonance because she represented a voice that bridged the intellectual and populist wings of conservatism. She could quote constitutional theory one moment and channel the frustrations of working-class Americans the next. Her ability to navigate those dual worlds made her indispensable to Fox's identity. There's also a symbolic dimension to her exit that speaks to the evolution of political commentary as a whole. The cable news model, once the dominant force in shaping political opinion, faces existential pressure from independent creators who can reach millions without the mediation of traditional networks. Laura Ingraham's decision to leave could reflect a generational shift, a move from network dependence to individual brand independence. In this sense, her choice is both an ending and a beginning, the end of her long tenure at a legacy media giant and the start of a new era where her voice might resonate even more freely. Her colleagues, friends, and critics alike would recognize that Ingraham's career has never been about playing it safe. From her early days as a speechwriter in the Reagan administration to her rise as a nationally syndicated radio host and then a Fox News powerhouse, she built her brand by defying expectations. Her confrontational style, sharp intellect, and unapologetic patriotism made her a lightning rod for controversy, but also a rallying figure for millions who felt alienated by the cultural mainstream. That she chose to walk away on her own terms only reinforces the independence that has defined her public life. For the conservative movement, her exit from Fox may have deeper implications. Media figures like Ingraham are not merely commentators. They are thought leaders who help shape the tone and priorities of political discourse. Without her nightly presence, there's a gap in the narrative architecture of the right. She provided a platform for discussing cultural issues, education, immigration, and free speech that extended beyond party politics. Her absence may push Fox News to tilt more heavily toward the day-to-day grind of electoral politics, leaving less space for the kind of cultural reflection she championed. Her audience, too, will feel the void. Loyal viewers had developed a nightly ritual around her program, tuning in not only for political insight, but also for reassurance and inspiration. Ingraham's manner of addressing her audience felt intimate, as though she were speaking directly to their frustrations and hopes. The bond between a television host and an audience is unlike any other form of connection. It builds gradually through trust and repetition. When that bond is broken, even voluntarily, it leaves an emotional residue. Viewers may search for her elsewhere, eager to follow her next endeavor, but the familiarity of her presence on Fox's stage will be missed. Her departure also opens a broader conversation about the trajectory of television journalism. The nature of trust in media has shifted. Personalities now matter as much as, if not more than, institutions. Laura Ingraham's name carried weight independent of the network she worked for. Viewers tuned in for her voice, not merely because of the Fox News logo in the corner of the screen. That individual-centered loyalty is both a testament to her influence and a challenge for traditional networks struggling to maintain brand identity amid a splintering audience. Behind the scenes, her decision likely involved careful deliberation. After years of working within a high-pressure environment, producing nightly content in the age of social media scrutiny, the toll of constant visibility cannot be understated. Yet her calm and deliberate tone when announcing her exit suggested peace rather than burnout. It was a choice of someone who understood timing, who knew when to exit a stage gracefully rather than linger until forced out. That sense of agency defines her professional character as much as her commentary ever did. Ingraham's journey also reflects the tension many media figures face between institutional loyalty and personal conviction. Fox News gave her a platform and an audience of millions, but networks inevitably come with editorial boundaries and corporate considerations. As the media environment becomes more polarized, maintaining independence of thought within a structured network can become increasingly difficult. By stepping away, she may have freed herself from those constraints, allowing her to speak with even greater candor and flexibility. What makes this moment particularly striking is how it coincides with a broader shift in American conservatism itself. The movement that once united around certain core values has splintered into various factions: populist, traditionalist, libertarian, nationalist, all vying for narrative dominance. Laura Ingraham's exit from Fox occurs at a time when that internal debate is intensifying. Her voice often served as a bridge between these competing strands, offering a vision rooted in moral clarity rather than factionalism. Without her as a nightly mediator of ideas, the ideological ecosystem may become even more fragmented. There's also a generational undertone to her decision. Ingram belongs to a generation of media personalities who came of age before social media defined the rhythms of political conversation. For decades, television was the primary stage of national discourse. But today's media influencers often operate independently, leveraging direct audience platforms. Her departure from Fox might symbolize the end of an era, the transition from centralized media empires to decentralized networks of individual voices. In many ways, she's closing a chapter of broadcast history, even as she hints at the beginning of a new digital frontier. Her legacy at Fox, however, will endure. During her years on air, she hosted countless politicians, intellectuals, and cultural figures, engaging in spirited debate while maintaining an unmistakable command of the issues. She didn't simply report. She interpreted, framed, and contextualized events in ways that shaped national conversations. Whether discussing immigration reform, education policy, or the role of faith in public life, her voice carried both authority and conviction. Even as her critics accused her of partisanship or provocation, Ingram maintained an internal consistency that commanded respect. She believed deeply in the principles she articulated, and her commentary reflected a coherent worldview rather than opportunistic positioning. This intellectual consistency is part of why her audience trusted her so profoundly. They may not have agreed with every argument she made, but they knew it came from a place of sincerity. That authenticity is difficult to replicate in a media culture often driven by outrage and clicks.